Okay, hi everyone, thank you for coming back. Part 2 of my entirely bonkers journal. Hopefully you liked the first one that I did. I'm actually recording this before my first one goes out, so I don't know what your reaction's been to it, so fingers crossed you like it. I just want to show you what I've done. I've added a couple of, I've added 3 fabric ruffles into this one. So I've put one along there. And this is the one that we did last time in the last video, and I did decorate the tag. So we've got the white rabbit in his garden and he's getting ready to go down the rabbit hole, and that just fits in there nicely. I've not stitched around it or backed it or anything yet. I'll have a session on that later. I put another ruffle in the middle of the fabrics, and I've put another one towards the back as well. In my previous video, I thought that this was from the buttons kit. It's not. It's from Spring Has Sprung. And there's another one in here that's from there as well, I think, or that I'm going to be using. So what am I going to do today? Today, I am mostly going to be going entirely bonkers. It's quite nerve-wracking when I'm doing this with Amy because we're both doing the same thing. I'm so excited to see what she's doing. Right, so I want this to go on the front and I want it to be a flip. I am conscious, I'm just going to raise you a little bit, that I only use my phone, and I'm conscious that when I move things it does go in and out of focus. So I'm going to try and keep it not to do that. So I want this to go on the front. I want it to be a flip. And this is from a book that I've got. And I love these illustrations by Mervyn Peake. And then from the same book, I've got Down the Rabbit Hole with a picture of Alice. And that's one of Mervyn Peake's, obviously, because he illustrated it. So I'm going to put that on the back so that when you flip it, you've got that on the back. So that's what I'm going to do. I have decided. So what do I want to do? I want this to be a pocket on the front. So I've just folded that in a little bit, and I want to make a little flip up thing just there. And of course I thought I'd got everything out that I might need. Oh, there's a bit of paper here. This will do nicely. So I'm going to put a little bit at the bottom, just so that it's going to be quite a big pocket, I know, and I don't know what's going in it yet. Haven't got a clue. Found my scissors. I'd put one of the Alice books that I've got on top of it. Who would know? Who would know that I would do that? So I hope you're all okay. I'm interested to know if any of you are using this kit as well. I love to see how we all use them so differently. And we all have different things to fall back on, don't we? I have got a few. I think I said last time, I've got a couple of Alice books, or Alice in Wonderland books. Okay, so that's going to go on there like that. Trying to get my head around how I'm going to do this, and I haven't quite got it sussed, I don't think, because I want that to be on the back, and I was wondering if I might like that over the edge like that. And I think that I do. I think I do. So I'm going to put that on there. So I could have turned the bottom up a little bit as well, couldn't I? Should have thought about that beforehand, shouldn't I? So I'm going to cut this off because I've just had a different idea. And that's fine. I'm just going to leave that stuck on there. It won't get in the way. I'll just glue it down. That's fine. Not a problem. And then I'm going to get my... You see, I think I know what I'm going to do, and then it just changes completely. I am going to turn a little bit up at the bottom. I don't want to get rid of Alice. So I'm going to go just over 1/4 of an inch on there. I'm going to turn that up And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that in there like so and glue it on. And then I'm going to stitch down here, because I think what I want to do is I want to put a piece of fabric on it to be the flip. I told you that I wasn't quite sure what I was doing. So I'm gonna put a little notch in there. This is quite a sturdy book, so I'm not going to, just thinking whether I want this to be wide enough. Can you hear the cogs whirring? I am going to take a little bit off the edge of that. Just a bit, not a lot. Just kind of 1/4 of an inch. It'll just give me that little bit more room to fit. I guess seeing these videos, you can see, you know, how long it takes me, not necessarily other people, to make an actual journal. They are not, well, I don't find that they're quick things to make. I see some people that a kit comes out and they've made a journal with it the following day. And I just think, well, gosh, how on earth did you do that? Right, I'm going to glue this one down first. And you know what I didn't do? I didn't do the notch, did I? That I said I was going to do, because I cut some off the edge. That's okay. So I want to put a little notch in here, but I don't want to notch Humpty Dumpty's head off. Pop. My lovely whale tail punch. Tell you what, that's going everywhere with me. So I've got that there. And I might put a little bit of something across the top of there. I don't have many scraps as yet, just because I'm in the throes of, this is a new, you know, like a new project. Usually I've got lots of bits and pieces and odds and ends that I've been, you know, that I've used with the project, but I'm not that far ahead of myself yet, am I? Just thought it might be nice to put something, seeing as we can't see all of Adventures. Mind you, we can see Adventures. Do you know what? I'm going to leave that. I'm not going to cover it, because I like that I can see Adventures. Okay. Then I'm going to put this bottom one up. I'm hoping that I'm staying in screen as well. Gosh, I'm 8 minutes in already. Oh, sorry, folks. I will try and speed up. But I think sometimes it can be useful to hear my struggles. Because you're not alone. Just remember that. We are not alone when we are making journals and we're thinking, how on earth do I do? Oh, it's here. I was going to pick pencil, knife, same colour. I keep picking up my pencil to cut, and I keep picking up my knife to write. Not a good combination. Right, the pencil's going over there. Okay, right. So this is going to go on there like that, and it's going to be a flip. And then you can see that on the back. So I'm happy with that. That's good. And then this, I'm going to cut a piece of this to go on here. And I think it's going to go on the inside. So I'm going to cut, I don't need a big piece at all, do I? How tall is that? I don't even know. So if I do about 7 inches, cut about 7 inches up. I should probably have cut that longer now I've done it. Oh no, that'll be fine. And I don't want a big piece. move my book out the way. Sorry, my brain is trying to think. I'm going to do 1 inch. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to sandwich that in there. Like that. That's all I'm going to do with that. Should have ironed that to start with, shouldn't I? Stop faffing, Carol. Behave yourself. So I'm going to put some glue there. And I'm going to glue that there. That will get stitched in to close that. Because nothing's ever quite level, is it? There, that's not too bad. Right, I'm just going to go and stitch down there to close that pocket. Bear with me a moment. Okay, I'm back. So I've stitched that. So that is now a closed pocket. It is quite a big pocket, but that's okay. I will find something to go in there. So I want that to go there on the front, like that. My thoughts on the back were that I wanted to do a kind of a flip, because I've got this piece of paper, well, I've got this image from a book called The Nursery Alice, and on the back of it is the Queen of Hearts who made some tarts. So I'm kind of thinking that that could be a tuck spot there. But this, it didn't tear out the book very well. Look, it was attached to something else. So my thought is to have this as a flip, but to have a tuck spot behind it. So a little bit similar to the one that I did last time, except it's going to be different. Except I don't know how. It is going to be different, so I'm going to cut this. I'm thinking on my feet, folks, so just bear with me. I don't know if this is going to work. Who knows? So if this is going to be a pocket, I only want the contents like that. Okay. So that is going to be a pocket on here. Now I don't need it to be as tall as that. I only need it to be as tall as the flip. Oh gosh, will you look at that? Yeah, they're the same size. Right, so this is going to be a pocket here. So it's going to be a pocket, okay? So I only need that to be no more than, no, I don't want it to be 8 1/4, do I? Or do I? I think actually I will, because then this can go on it and be a flip, but you'll still see that. Yes, okay. So I need this to be, you see, still thinking, folks, 8 1/4. Right. It's a good job you're all patient with me, isn't it? I'm hoping that you might that you might pick up some do's and don'ts. Don't do it like Carol does. I think if you're doing a pocket that you've made lots and lots of times, it's probably very easy to do things quickly, neatly, tidily. But when you're kind of trying to think on your feet a little bit what you're wanting to do, it's not so easy. Now that should fit on there, and it does. So that's going to glue on there. But I want to attach this in there. and then I'm going to stitch down, but I also want to attach this in there so that it's a flip. Am I making sense? Shout out if I'm not. I'm sure that I'll hear you. So I'm going to leave, I need that to be a bit shorter. I'm going to cut, am I on screen? Hope so. 1/4 of an inch off there. And then I'm going to do a fold. It's about 1/2 inch. Sorry fella, I know I've gone through your head, but I don't want to lose the white rabbit. So that is going to go in inside there. The reason that I'm not putting it on the back is because when this is a pocket, things get stuck on that lip. So I'm going to enclose it in there. I don't mind that I can see where it says contents. That's fine. So that doesn't look very level. That'll be me. That's going to go on there. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to stick it on. So this is just going in between this pocket that I've made, or that I'm making. Okay. So that will then be a flip like that, and this will be a pocket. Okay. This I know is too big. So let me cut it down to there. I think my ruler moved then. I could feel it slip. Put the glue on the lid. Okay, so that, how that fits nicely, look. So here's my crease. I don't know if you can see it, but the fold is there. So if that's going to go there, that will flip out there. You've got that and you've got that. I am happy with that. Very, very happy. And then this that's going on the front also needs to go in here. And I'm going to glue it in, but I'm going to leave just a little edge of difference because otherwise you can't fold it. It's too bulky. And then I'm going to stitch it in. I will show you what I mean. So I'm putting some glue on there. And I just want to leave like 1/8 of an inch. Can you see that? I don't know if you can. I've left like 1/8 of an inch so that that will fold over because it's going over the page. Okay, and then this, let's take that off, is going to stick in here. That's going to fold out there with that. We're going to have a tuck spot just there, and then on the front we've got that flip there. Do you know, I love that. You shouldn't like your work so much, should you? Maybe. Right, so I am going to glue these together just to make it a little bit easier. And I've then got a nice strong pocket here. I want to put this on here. It's how to get it on, isn't it? So I want it to go on there, don't I? Right to the edge. I think this might go horribly wrong. Put some glue right on the edge. And then I'm going to put that. Sorry folks if I'm in the way. That's okay. So I've glued it at the top, I've glued it at the bottom, and I'm going to stitch it down here. But that should stay glued at the top and the bottom because I put plenty on, didn't I? It just needs to dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch down here, but making sure that these two, the flip and the flap, are folded backwards. So I'm going to stitch down there. I'm just wondering, I might actually stitch along there, down there and across. Because there's going to be stitching in the journal. There's already stitching in it. I'm going to stitch all the way. Right, bear with me. Hang on. Deep breath. So I think that I am going to call that a success. Let's have a look. So here on the front, we've got that pocket. That pocket flips out and we've got down the rabbit hole there. And then we go inside and we've got the Nursery Alice there. That flips open and we've got the Queen of Hearts. And I think it's the Knave of Hearts and he stole the tarts. And then we've got a lovely pocket there that we can tuck something in. So I am absolutely made up with how that's turned out. I think it looks nice with that as well. I want to decorate this bit. I think it would be nice to have an image or something on there. Oops. These are from Andrea Allen, Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Oh, they look quite nice on there actually, don't they? Isn't it funny how you start with one thing and you end up getting bamboozled for another? But I do quite like those Tweedledee and Tweedledum on there. They might have to go on there, you know. It's one of those journals, I think, that's just because. Do we want Tweedledee and Tweedledum? Let me get a paper clip. Oh, bits of paper everywhere. So what I do is if I'm not sure of something, and I'm 99% that I do want them there, but if I'm still thinking about it, I'll just clip them in and say, okay, I'll come back to that, but I do like them there. And I might put a little snippet, fabric snip up there or something. What have we got? I've got, oh, too big. I don't want to cover up a lot. Got the rabbit. These are from the kit. These are from Amy's kit. She covers too much of that up, I think. Sorry, you can't see it, can you? I'm fiddling in here, look. Got the Mad Hatter. No, he's too big. Oh, she might be just right. She'd have got flat. Do you know what? I obviously must have moved her out and she's got some flowers attached on with her. So to me, that means that they want to be used. I like that. Okay. Somewhere I have a glue book. There's just a little bit of white showing on her because I'm not ever so good at the old fussy cutting. It's arthritis in the hands that tends to slow you down with that, isn't it? Oh, glue. And when I couldn't find my scissors yesterday, it's because husband had borrowed them. Can you believe it? Borrowed my scissors. Where was I going to put this? So if she's going there, that's going to go there. These flowers are all from the Alice kit as well. I'd probably put that the other way around before, hadn't I? But it doesn't matter. I like that. And I've also cut the ones out that were in her steampunk kit as well. Similar flowers but different colours. This might be from the steampunk actually. Yep. And then Alice. Is going to go on there. Oh, reaching over you again, folks. How rude. I might need a tab or something on there, just to show that it's a flip out. Oh, I do like it. Now, I don't want that to stick. Let me just put something there just to stop that sticking. I think I would like a tab or something on here. I'm thinking because I did have, and I found them, I've got some little bits and pieces of fabrics. And I've got this one, which is like a kind of a peach colour. And it just reminded me of those roses. And it's just a little ruffle, and I'm thinking that that might go on there quite nicely. Or it wants to stay on my finger. I think for some reason I prefer it that way. So I'm going to put that on there. I don't know how far down it needs to go. About there. Squish it on. And then it hasn't interfered with this pocket at all. That pocket's still there. Still a bit sticky. There, so it looks like that. So you can see the purple kind of, I don't know why I picked purples out. I think because there are purples in it. Tell you what, Amy's used every colour in this kit. It's just gorgeous. So I really don't think it matters what you choose to go with it. It will go. I'm happy with that. And then this, I want something on here. Do I want another little ruffle? I have a little purple one. I don't think I want one like that. Would I like it to be a tab like that? I think quite probably I would. Just thinking it's going on the back of that. I don't want it to cover, so I don't think I need it to be quite as big. I think I've shown you this before, folks, but those of you that are new, if I use fabric and I've got little tiny snips left over, I put them all in this old jar. It's a plastic marshmallow jar. I didn't eat the marshmallows, by the way. So this is just a jar where I put all my little snips and bits of fabric, because they really do come in useful for all sorts of projects. They really, really do. Just looking, because that's got a nice little rose on it, and it goes with the pink and the blue, doesn't it? I think I might use a piece of this, and I might use that out because I might want to use it again. I try and have a rule that if I use a piece of fabric once, I'll try and use it again, so that it's not on its own. It's not lonely. I don't know why. It's Carol rule. Carol's allowed rules. So I don't want it to be a great big tab, do I? This was a piece of fabric that I had actually used it to make a journal cover with. It's kind of, I don't know if it's upholstery or curtain fabric. It's vintage. Oh, and it's just gorgeous. If only I had another piece of it. It was delightful. It had birds on it. I don't think there's any birds on this bit. No, but it is absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to put that on there as a little flip, so it shows you it's a flip. So I think that I'm going to, because this flips out, I can take it to my sewing machine and I can just attach it. So give me 1 minute and I will be back with you. Okay, I'm back. So I'm just going to do a quick run through of where we are. I know you've seen it, but I kind of want to, I like to check myself with something when I've done something. So we've got the pocket on the front and that flips out, and we've got down the rabbit hole on the back. Alice was beginning to get very tired of sitting with her sister on the riverbank and having nothing to do. Once or twice she peeped into the book her sister was reading, but it had no pictures or conversations in it. And what is the use of a book, thought Alice, without pictures or conversations? So I think that's kind of a nice start to the journal. Got the pocket, got the ruffle. That goes over like that. We've got this lovely book page from the nursery Alice. We open that up and we've got the King and Queen of Hearts, the Knave of Hearts. We've got the White Rabbit there. And then we've got Amy's Alice there. And we've got a lovely pocket just there. And then I think Tweedledee and Tweedledum, who decided to have a battle because Tweedledee said Tweedledum had stolen his new rattle. Gosh. Do you know, if that's right, a bit scary, eh? Got that. We've got that one there. That flips out. It is stiff because I've put the ruffle on the back. But it does open all the way if you want it to. And it's got the pocket there. It's got a pocket there. And it's got that one there. So that's as far as I've got. So you can see I'm going to be back with you again, without a doubt, to do some more of Alice. So that's my second journal on Going Entirely Bonkers. I do hope you like it, and I will catch you next time if you'd like to join me. Thanks so much, folks. Bye.